It is now time for prosecution. So we're at the last case of this game, which would seem like the end is in sight, but this case is quite beefy. I believe this is going to take like a good 5 or 6 segments to clear. Like Rise from the Ashes in the first game, how that felt like an entirely separate game. I forgot how long that fucking case was. Rise from the Ashes took me 4 full streams to beat. So, we're gonna just jump into it. After I go ghost here. There we go. Become unseeable, untouchable. To be fair, Rise from the Ashes had a reason to be long since it's its own separate thing. Yeah, I mean, the whole reason it existed was for Japanese players to buy the same game a second time. The second and third games weren't even going to get DS ports. It's solely because they sold so well in America that those ports even happened. But yeah, Rise from the Ashes was a little long. Anyway, Turnabout Ablaze, the final chapter. So, very briefly, just to go over the timeline of events here. 7 years ago, Edgeworth was about to do his first trial. The prosecution that he was filling in for, as well as the defendant, were both found dead. The culprit was the defense, who turned out to be who claims to be the Yatagarasu, and also was part of the smuggling ring. 7 years later, on his trip back from a foreign country, which was a month after the events of the third Ace Attorney game, he witnesses a murder on the plane, is framed for it. He works with Franziska to uncover that it has to do with the same smuggling ring from 7 years earlier. And yeah, after that, the following day following that, he goes to Gatewater Land to stop a ransom plot, which by his benefactor. Ransom plot of his benefactor's son, and throughout that whole fiasco, we find out that the son kidnapped himself, murdered his butler, and was also, I don't know, I can't actually remember the motivation for that. Bottom line though was that the Amano guy was part of is involved in the smuggling ring supposedly, and then that night. Edgeworth goes back to his office and then finds another prosecutor's detective dead. So essentially, I just recapped the whole game we just played, but the order of events went, but in terms of case numbers, it was Case 4, Case 2, Case 3, Case 1. So if it's a little confusing as to why we're now back in the office with everything else back to normal, I don't know why. I don't know why I would think that is the case at all. I don't know why I'm doing this, so I should cut this out. AA1 on DS is apparently the #1 AA game in Japan. I mean, it was probably the most remakey of the 3 at the time. Episode 5, Turnabout Ablaze. I don't know what I'm talking about. Two cards. One of the Black Raven. And one of the White Raven. A country torn in two. One to the west, orange, and one to the east. That's what the middle of that flag looks like. It looks like an orange. When those which were split are made whole again. The truth will reveal itself. It's the Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! You cursed Yatagarasu! K, you! "8 hours earlier," but not to be confused with 7 years earlier. This is now the day after the first case of the game. For Pete's sake, just call him the Crow. Hey, Merc, how you doing? After the end of World War II, the world was split into two. March 14th, 10:17 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. It It's so nice, almost dreamlike to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. Oh, if I had known Edgeworth was going to sum this all up here, I wouldn't have bothered. Miles Edgeworth, Pie Prosecutor. Pie. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and murder at Gatewaterland Theme Park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. How did I manage to find myself back in the middle of so many cases back to back? Pie? Holiday pie? No, just regular pie. Been a while since you had pie. I have dessert pie for my brother's birthday a couple weeks ago. Chocolate, it was just like chocolate pudding. Not even pudding, it's like just chocolate cake. I don't know what it is. It's like ice cream cake, but not really. It was chocolate ice cream with like vanilla, like cream and chocolate chips. It's alright, I'm not a big fan of it. Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh no, sorry, that was Kay. How'd you like my Gumshoe impersonation? This is big, I tell ya. Hey, what's wrong with you? How'd you know where he is? How'd you get in here? Where's your enthusiasm? And suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind. What are you talking about, fragile dreams? Come on, let's go. The fake Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know? Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake. Say what? Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. So I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay. What's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep-talking to me right now? Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see. Oh, and that is... Take a look at this. On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. That's quite a bold declaration to send an embassy. Suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this. The date the card mentions is today. Today, huh? Come on, we gotta hurry. The embassy awaits. I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating? Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today? I'm not, Kay. You're just too wound up. Well, then you should get too wound up, too. Because this just might be our chance to catch that woman. You mean Miss Yu? The woman who killed Kay's father, burned Faraday, 7 years ago. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu. Great thief? And then disappeared from the courtroom. Ah, she makes me so mad. That phony. Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome. The Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article looks to me as though it could be genuine. See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that that woman's involved, then nothing is. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, out the door you go. Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder, why? What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole to the newspaper with your eyes? No, no reason at all. Very well, seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree that there is some merit to be found in investigating this. I knew you'd come around. March 14th, 5 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis. By the light of this night's glorious moon, we are ready! Ready to embark on our nightly outing. And this is where our tale begins! coincidence. Who would have thought that a steel samurai Who would have thought that a steel samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy? Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Steel samurai sushi slash. I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out. I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television. I have to say, though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building. Well, as you said yourself, this place and the countries it houses are very special. Even this theater is special, and that's a neutral zone shared by the two countries. So let me get this straight. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries. The one that's called the Kingdom of Ablaze, right? Yes, so it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well. It's an orange. It's a naranja in the middle. Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. The Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. Totally gotta go see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end. You know, ever since I first met this girl, I've always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja. So anyway, about today's event, what's it called again? The Kingdom of Ablaze versus the Republic of Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Ablaze and the Republic of Babal. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature, and it was called the Principality of Codopia. Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. So this is the same embassy that was attacked by Macaw 7 years ago. Poor Steel Samurai's voice was cracking hard and the blade quenched early. I was doing that on purpose, you'll see. After a period of civil unrest, this country split in two, though there's still signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Codopia, huh? The KG-8 incident, what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Codopia. In 7 years that have passed, the country may have split in two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something. Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again? If you could please stop spacing out on me. Anyway, we were talking about the Ablaze versus Babal Goodwill Jubilee. Two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other. But supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event. If that's the case, then why the verses? Also, both countries claim to own the real Prima Du statue, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have it publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal. Okay, need I remind you to take care not to succumb to your thieving desires? Well, when it comes to treasure, I can't help myself. You know that. She better be saying that in jest. Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell ya. I know. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. There's a very festive atmosphere in here. Yep, super festive. I'm really happy for the Kingdom of Ablaze and the Republic of Babal. It's great that they have re-established diplomatic relations. Newspapers say it's almost like they're Codopia once again. Perhaps we're bearing witness to a historic moment in time. Hey look, they're selling some commemorative merchandise to celebrate this event. Founders Codopia biscuits. And over here they're selling Royal Codopia biscuits. It would seem that they've yet to reconcile their competitive spirits. Looked up speedrun records for this game, and this full game is 4 hours, 22 minutes. Wonder how long just this one case would be in it. I would assume 6 or 7 hours. 10 more minutes. No, and 5 more minutes. But is it really bad for me to spend time doing this? No use. Would someone please just tell me what I should do? You appear to be troubled by something. May I be of any assistance? Leave me alone. I'm trying to figure out just the right time to talk to that girl over there. If I mess up, it'll be because I'm talking to you right now. Somehow I get the feeling that he's about to fall flat in his face. Well, let's do as he wishes and leave him alone. You know, I've seen a lot of those shows in a bunch of other places, but today's show, it was like they went for a complete comedy, you know? Yeah, and that last move, the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash, couldn't help but laugh. I know, right? And that Pink Princess movements, in the middle of the show, I could swear that I heard her hip crack. Oh, I know, I totally thought that too. The Pink Princess has a bad hip? Seriously? What were they thinking, you know? Well, there's no graceful way to enter this conversation. Pink Princess's movements are really stiff. I wonder why her movements are really stiff. I wonder who that could be. This case alone is 2 hours of the 4 hours and 22-minute speed run, so nearly half the whole run. Goddamn. There are pamphlets about the two embassies here on the table. Still looks weird to me. The country split into two a few years back, and they've shared their building and its grounds 50-50 ever since. Oh? I guess it's because they don't have the money to build two separate ones, huh? I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. I suppose I'll just help myself to one of these. What's all the hubbub? Ah! Hey, look! It's the Steel Samurai! And he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him! Oh, hey, Lotta's there. Lotta Fart. Where in tarnation are they? Come on, Big Scoop. Hey, mister, out of the way. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Seem to remember this woman from somewhere. And my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. Perhaps it would be best if I left her alone. These flowers were sent by Global Studios. Global Studios? That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They've been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled. Oh, I read about that in the papers the other day. That mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, huh? What's its name? You mean Mrs. Monkey? Yeah, I thought it was something like that. You really have a great memory. Ha! Never understood my powers of recollection. They had bland name Universal Studios, yeah, Global Studios, and then the other one was Worldwide Studios. Had the competitor to Steel Samurai. There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row of Steel Samurai videos on this table. Suppose it's so visitors can watch an episode or two at their leisure. Is it really just that popular, huh? Yes, although I've never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity. Wonder why they decided to call on the Steel Samurai for an event like this. I mean, it's like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead. Wouldn't that go against the whole point of this event? It appears this child's watching a video from the first season of the Steel Samurai. Go, go, keep on fighting till your last breath. Go, my hero, the Steel Samurai! Completely absorbed in singing the theme song, I see. Let the child watch in peace. And we're here, reporting live from the Theatrum Neutralis. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say. Well, okay, that was good. Let's do one more run-through. Excuse me, but when are you ready to real film for real? Would you mind giving me a call? I sense that she didn't hear a single word I said. This is the perfect angle. Go, my image. Travel across the wave world and into every TV set around the globe. You could tell that this was, written after Mega Man Star Force came out. A more honest approach to the appearing on TV might be to serve your ambitions better. I was 10 years old when I realized that... okay. Is there something I could help you with? I was wondering what's beyond these doors. It's the Alabastian Embassy. Unless you have some business with the embassy. I suppose I can't really claim to have any business with the embassy right now. You have to be so rude about it, Mr. Guard. The national flag of the Kingdom of Alabast is on display here. The crest of it on it features a flower. Flowers and butterflies are kind of rare motifs for flags, don't you think? Well, when there used to be Codopia, the government used to take pride in its land. Citizens also loved the rich, bountiful nature all around them, thus the design. Hey, if the Steel Samurai got popular enough, do you think they'd put him on the flag? Are you in your right mind, Kay? Maybe the Jammin' Ninja would make a better candidate. Don't make me laugh, only the Steel Samurai deserves such an honor. Really funny to watch Edgeworth, like, get pissy when people diss the Steel Samurai just because he loves it that much. Is there something I could help you with? I was wondering what's beyond these doors. The Babalese Embassy is just beyond these doors, sir. You have some business with the embassy? You require immediate access. No, that's quite alright. Are you sure, sir? Anyone and everyone is always welcomed in the Republic of Babal. Well then, since we're here, an embassy isn't some sort of theme park, Kay. You're such a buzzkill. The national flag of the Republic of Babal is on display here. The crest on it features a butterfly. Really rare to see a national flag featuring an animal on it. Not really, I can list at least a few off for you that do. Okay then, there are any flags with really chic things on them? Chic things? That's pretty vague, Kay. Although by definition, there aren't really any flags that feature a chic object. Oh, that's too bad, because if there was, thinking about stealing it. What exactly would you do with the stolen national flag, Kay? Okay, that's good. Alright, now give me a dramatic slam right here. Stop! Hey, do you mind? Get out of the way, buddy. Okay, once more in 3, 2, 1, action! Okay, was that my fault just now? Well, he's obviously working. I guess we should leave him alone. I think how Edgeworth's like, I don't know if that was my fault or not. Both countries have a prima due statue, which are the treasures of each country. They also possess a set of 3 finely crafted knives. Kingdom of Alabast still produces very luxurious Cadopian paper, which is renowned for its extremely high quality. Oh, speaking of paper, I got a paper-like screen protector for my Galaxy tablet. Came with a set of 2, and I fucking ruined the first one. Way too many air bubbles, and then it didn't stick properly when I tried removing it. So I have to find a way to put that thing on, like, pristinely with the second try here. Because I don't want to waste it, because these are expensive screen protectors, and they do have a very nice texture to them. I don't know if I would say it's exactly like paper, but it does make the S Pen. It does make the S Pen have a nice like grit to it when I'm pressing it on the screen. So I would really like for the second one to go on nicely, because these were like it was like $20 for a set of 2. So, and I ruined the first one. It happens. I'm never good with this kind of shit. But, like, I really just, like, a couple air bubbles on the edge is fine, but, like, I had, like, a bunch in the middle that I just couldn't get rid of. I even tried using the hot, the hairdryer method, and it didn't work. It's always the case with everything with the screen rip, yeah. Republic of Babal is the sole producer of Babalese ink, which is made from white crystal. It's also known to generously offer coupons. Hell yeah. Coupons for the Taco Bell. Where is it? Young girl purporting to be the second Yatagarasu. She's on the trail of her father's killer. Admiral Prosecutor and father of Kay. He was killed 7 years ago by Callisto Yu. Killed Kay's father 7 years ago, claimed to be the Yatagarasu that made her escape. She should be 29 right now. Taco Bell, I might go to Taco Bell this weekend. You know what, though? I'm gonna see Nessie this weekend, and I know she really wants to try the SpongeBob meal at Wendy's. The Crabber Patter. So I think I might be getting one of those this weekend. The pineapple frosty sounds really good. I am looking forward to trying that. May I speak with you for a second? It's the Steel Samurai. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for? It's pineapple, yes. Please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before. You love pineapple? So do I. I can't wait to try it. I've heard the burger's good too. It's like a standard Wendy's burger, but it has like a special sauce on it that people are saying is pretty good. So, looking forward to trying it. Looks like he's written something down for you. To Edgeworth from Steel Samurai. Daddy married. Steel Samurai Daddy. Married man of Neo Old Tokyo. Wow, an autograph. Pretty cool you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Autograph with a sketch of his face and a weapon. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you. His spear was bent. I didn't get to read any of that. And now the Steel Samurai will proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabast to shake the hand of the Ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our own country as well. There he goes, off to spread the goodwill to the world. It's a Shikishi board. Yeah. He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, does he? Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera. In just a few seconds, the Jammin Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jammin Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He's set to meet with the Ambassador of Babal at that time. Ah, the Jammin Ninja show's about to start? We gotta get back to our seats. Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas. Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. You miss even a second of the Jammin Ninja's awesome playing. I'll never forgive you. Suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay? That's exactly just the same image from the second game. Oh, I could listen to that A Ninja Marked for Death's Lullaby song all day. His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice, now that's the Jammin Ninja's greatest weapon. Steel Samurai's better. Ah, those pieces of Jammin Ninja merchandise over there. I've got to have them. Especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine, Princess Misola, wears in her hair. Anyway. Hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? You're thinking of going home, aren't you? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely, it was simply a prank. No way, I just know that the Yatagarasu will show. But I thought you said that the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards. Yeah, I did, but I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase. But the card she sent was a genuine fake calling card. A genuine fake? Well, how can I word this? Yatagarasu's mark on that calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? We've got a problem! The Yatagarasu's been spotted in Alabast. What? Oh, look who was wrong, Edgeworth. Is everyone that you know that was in the path of the hurricane okay? Yes. All my friends I know are safe. A couple of them are not home yet, so they can't see what the damage is. But all of them are confirmed to be, you know, okay. We'll have to worry about the rest once everyone can get back to where they were. You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? So you finally said... So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony. Hey, what gives? I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter. What the? Hey! Steel Samurai just waltzed straight on through with that one. Now, if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phony's going to escape. Okay, a country's embassy is considered a part of the country itself. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm gonna enter through Babal and climb over the wall into Alabast.
Hold it!
You would tell a prosecutor straight out to intend to illegally enter another... Okay, are you listening to me? Stands there wiggling. K Faraday, and I'm coming through. Yes, and welcome. Someone stop her, anyone! March 14th, 6:12 p.m., open air stage. All hell's breaking loose, yeah. In a positive weather phenomenon, the northern lights were visible tonight, like throughout a lot of the northern U.S. But not me, of course. I can't fucking see them, and my phone doesn't have night mode, so I can't take good pictures. Meanwhile, Nessie got, like, incredibly nice pictures of it, and she lives further down south than I do. Can't wait to move outside the hurricane area, a little less than an hour from the Gulf Coast there. Yeah. Does Texas get hit that often, though, by them? I guess they kind of form in that area. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough and it's only gonna get worse. Lost your house to one in 2017. Were there small earthquakes in a nearish mountain here as of late? Yeah. I mean, you're on the West Coast and earthquakes are definitely way more common over there. But still, like, I'm in the lucky zone where kind of like earthquakes and hurricanes don't generally hit here. But this year alone we had 2 earthquakes, which is very unusual. So, I don't know. We also get really brutal winters, unfortunately. Oh, I didn't realize how loud this is, sorry. Okay, where are you? Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Ah! Fire! This is too big for us to handle! Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babal, too! You accursed Yatagarasu! Okay, you had better be alright, wherever you are. Really weird that that's the opening preview of the chapter, and it happened so early on. March 14th, 6:45 p.m. Babali's Embassy, Secretariat's Office. Look who's on the ground dead. It's young Oldman. I told you, it wasn't me.
Hold it!
That noise, that door noise. Okay, are you alright? Do I look alright to you? Now, can you do something about this woman? Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, this. It wasn't me. He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage. A suspicious person? A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you not to tell me that's... I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought they have to be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then I lost sight of them. But I just know that person is the one who did it. What are you so worked up over? There's no reason for you to be this loud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary. Sheena, I believe your name is, correct? And if you're making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct? You refuse to answer. I don't need to answer. You're merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority. Hey, pal, just what the heck did you said... Just what the heck does what you just said mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end! And seeing as how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we'd like. Unfortunately, detective embassies are a different matter entirely. Huh? This office is considered to be part of the Republic of Babal, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe the truth is out there? Basically, our country's laws do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That was what was agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place. What is wrong with me tonight? Score one for the X-Files fans. A timely reference, which means we could do little here in this situation. No way, sir! Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home. Yeah, and since Sheena's Lang's secretary, that means she's Interpol, which means that she technically has the authority to operate in multiple countries. Ugh. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, you're not... Mr. Edgeworth? In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Oh. It's, Miss VK. Ah! Miss Von Karma! Ambassador Poleno, I truly appreciate allowing me to join the investigation. Alright, isn't technically Franziska's working with Interpol now as well. Stand outside and do investigation through a drone. I know the time period, though. I don't know, I think if you fly over the soil that the building is on, that's considered being in the Republic of Babal, so that wouldn't work either. It's really nothing. Manny was my secretariat, of course, so of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly. I don't know what kind of voice I actually want to give this dude. He's extremely friendly. Franziska. Well, well, never imagined I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning you have no authority to conduct.
Hold it!
Already? What is it? Ambassador Poleno. And you are? I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant. Assistant? Miles, what the heck do you think you're... Please, I implore you, Ambassador Poleno. Very well, I'm counting on you two, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant? I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Franziska's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation. There you go, running at the mouth with that aloof expression on your face. Franziska, please. I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you are now my subordinate. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you, should you have a brain lapse. Of course, I'll keep that in mind. If you're done playing games... Right, let's begin the investigation. Ablaze Embassy, Secretariat's office. By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here? Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babylese Embassy today. And why are our police guarding an embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It was more or less mutually beneficial agreement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. Looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. Ah! Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my own hands. But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore. Well, I see that guy. I just remember this unused sprite of him since that's how I first saw him. What if they remastered it, not knowing it was unused? I don't even know what this sprite is. This is really unused? An odd unused sprite. That looks like a pose he would make. I just accidentally opened Isotope. Whoops, close that, please. Thank you. I need to hydrate here. Would one piece of dirt count as being in their jurisdiction? I mean, if it's on the soil, if it's on the land, if it's in the space that the building takes up, then yes. I don't think you could really loophole your way out of this, unfortunately. But it doesn't really matter, because Edgeworth managed to loophole himself out of it by default. It's just a case of thinking they'd use it and then forgot about it. Ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling. A ceiling fan? What does one of those do? Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that's installed in one's ceiling. Well, if I had one of those in my room, I'd better go dizzy from staring at it as I slept. Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep. Hey, it's another butterfly! I believe this is the symbol of the Republic of Babal. A drawing this big on the wall of an embassy definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I got a lot of patriotism too, sir! The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. You may want to, Detective, however, I've yet to see the fruits of your desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir. Knives, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. Guess the handles all got burnt off by the fire. Ah, so even the knives fell victim of the fire. Ambassador Poleno, are these knives yours? Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babal. Those butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state. Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release in the tang of this blade. Ambassador Poleno, what's this notch here for? Oh, that! It's a feature that allows these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them. So that we could change how they look to fit the situation, of course. I see, so these knives were constructed so that the handles could be easily removed. These shelves are lined with American These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia. It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babalese embassy. So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry. They have plans to make the Babalese tourism industry truly flourish. Then they would need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose. Speaking of tourism, sir, I got one of these from the blonde guy earlier. He said if I bring these with me to Babal, I could trade them in for a few buffets. Oh, so how do you expect to travel to Babal? Well, the whole world's connected by the ocean, sir. And for the all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to. And a few simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things. Mr. Grizz sold his merch. Yeah, I was just gonna point that out. We got the bear salmon statue. We got an eagle, space eel, Statue of Liberty, bust. The arch. What's at the top? That's nothing notable, right? Looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock. Grandfather. It looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock. I keep line breaking where the line breaks. It looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it's fallen victim to the fire. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir? If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but... Well, there's this one clock that I made by myself. And the timer it manages to auto... Quite enough, detective. What about this scenario? I've been thinking about this ever since ever. What if you were born in a plane that's right smack dab in the middle of 2 countries? There's proof that it truly was right in the middle. Where would said baby have citizenship? I think... I think there is a rule in place for that. Destination is what Goob is saying. I don't know. That's a good question. I need a break from reading for a minute. So let's look it up. If you're born in a plane, what's your nationality? Hypothetical, if baby's born in a plane. Turns out it's not all hypothetical situation. Back in 2021, a passenger from Morocco gave birth to in the middle of a Turkish Airlines flight in Istanbul, Turkey, and Chicago. Okay. Citizenship of the babies born in midair like these depends on several factors. Many countries, including the U.S., grant citizenship to anyone born in their territorial airspace or waters. That's known as illegal by its Latin name, jus soil, or right of the soil. Other countries rely on jus sanguinis, or right of the blood. In these cases, that means the baby's citizenship depends on the parent's citizenship. What if the baby's born over an ocean where territorial rights aren't in play? In that case, it could follow the nationality of the airplane itself. All aircraft have a nationality of the country which they're registered, no matter where takeoff or landing happen. This rule only applies though if the child would otherwise be stateless. Soil and sanguinis will always have a citizenship solution before anyone's nationality is to be determined by the registration of the aircraft. So typically, it's going to be where the soil that they're on. Then next would be their bloodline, and then after that would be the origin of the plane. That seems to be the priority list. I need a drink. 1 second. Didn't win the lotto again, of course. Man, our local lotto is up to $13 million. That's insane. The pick 6 never goes up that high. Yeah, oh yeah, honey, you were in a Bangladesh citizen once. Long story short, it's the plane's fault. Yeah, Megabucks are going up to $5 a ticket. Just can't. I play pick 6, which is it's $10. It's $2 per play, and I play 5 times, so it's $10 per ticket. But I also play online, so there's an extra $2 convenience fee, which is bullshit. But whatever. I'm using less paper. I should be paying less for the lotto. Grabbing a drink here real quick. Yeah, it feels like this fridge has started working again. This iced tea is really cold. People still do the lotto? Yeah, I do. I play the pick 6 twice a week. And pray that I desperately win $13 million. $10,000 dues! Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat. Hold it! But there's a possibility it's related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force him to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof. I suppose I don't have a choice here. It was one of the Prima Du statues Kay was mentioning earlier. That's weird, there's no accent over it. I thought there was an accent over the U before. It just means this man looked like the Steel Samurai. Could be twins. Both countries claim to own the real one, national treasure. Only Amb and Secretariat can touch. Can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Paleno, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That and only that. I ask that you cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Cochin's sake as well. You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating. Hey, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe. Oh, no, these are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babal. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babal. Now remember, the Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Cochin. He was my secretary, and the embassy secretariat, charged with running this whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything. Counting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. I'm sorry, but did you say printing? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy. I see. Please excuse my forwardness, however. I feel I should mention that I have this distinct impression that I've met him before. Oh yes, since you're of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? You knew this, Edgeworth. The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. He's got, like, such a shit-eating grin. You just gambled with TF2 Case's Halloween update came out today. Nice. So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. What exactly do you mean earlier by renovations? Can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy thinking we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. May have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us. Oh, is that a prosecutor's badge? It has a very cool design. Ah, I know. We should start selling items like this as souvenirs in Babal. Tourists will absolutely go nuts over them. Please don't compare a proud symbol of my profession to a cheap souvenir. Oh, isn't that about our great embassy? How do you like our pamphlets? I feel indifferent about them, to be honest. I'm just using this as evidence. Oh, that's too bad. In that case, I guess we'll just have to try harder to make the more charming ones. I just had a flash of inspiration. We should make all our pamphlets into coupon books. His expectations of what a coupon can do are just a tad hyperinflated. Did someone say hyperinflated? Ambassador Poleno, I was wondering if you might have some thoughts on this. I think that you would know more about that case than I do. So let me make it up to you for not knowing anything about that with these coupons. Thank you, however, I feel I must decline. This statue resembles that hero, the Steel Samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the Steel Samurai statue? Just might attract a few more tourists to our country if it did, right? I'm not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure. Lord Jberb. Yep. Lang's trusted secretary level-headed and she supports him in his investigations. Daughter, my mentor, Manfred von Karma, cooperating with Interpol in the smuggling case. Colias Poleno, age 37. Oh, he's the same age as me. Ambassador Babal, who will do absolutely anything for his country's tourism industry. Mandy Cochin, Ambassador Poleno's secretariat, who is defendant of KG8, case's victim. Miles Edgeworth. What is it? Let me tell you something. You're currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince anyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect. What's with the giddy glint in her eyes? I don't think that will really be necessary, Franziska. Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you're still under me. I thought that Franziska was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy? I was investigating at the Alabashan embassy when I got wind of this mess. Alright, the Yatagarasu was due to appear at that embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabashan embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Babalese embassy. Ah, so Agent Lang is here as well, huh? I see you've met. Well, he's at the Alabashan embassy acting as Well, he's in the Alabashan embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. So the suspect in this murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu? Kay would never harm her soul, sir! Kay. You remember, do you not, about the case we investigated together 7 years ago? That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So she's that feisty little girl. Kay's been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the ones who took her father's life. I see. He's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu just keeps on tricking us all. Hmm? How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I'll be here to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we had is arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet. You ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, if Callisto Yu really is the Yatagarasu. Gotta correct that. Make it Mega Millions. It's going up by price, $2 to $5, please. Pretty sure it's going to be better odds too, but don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, no, that isn't. That sucks. Why increase the price of the fucking Mega Millions? Not gonna lie, MAP and YouTubers maybe want to get one yourself one day, though maybe made to be extra sloshy. I mean, this is as sloshy as I could get it. I do still like the circles. Hey, Zijingmong. Thank you for the icon the other day. Hello. Oh, hey, Izzy. Welcome back. Whew. Speaking of Izzy, getting dizzy. That's probably why I get so tired, because this game's nothing but talking, and I talk really fast. What about your prosecutor's badge? I have one too, you know. Ah, yes, so you do. But seeing as I'm not currently a proper prosecutor, I thought I'd give presenting it a try. Is that any way for you to act towards your superior? As if threatening a whipping is the proper way of lecturing someone. Miss Von Karma, what do you think of this piece of evidence? Not such as so nice as my subordinate, I'll answer you. However, as your superior, I must also make sure that my subordinates grow in the job. Therefore, please gather your own thoughts together first, then try presenting again. A simple I don't have any thoughts about that would have sufficed. Done your shopping, ate your lunch? Nice. Fair, just really want to embody very full soda tank vibes. Yeah, no, that's the best vibes. Edgeworth used to unionize against his own sister. She ain't giving anything up yet. Okay, are you alright? You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, do you? Yes, of course I don't, and I promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you still can. No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and try, if you're that confident. Don't allow this to continue on this way. Must prove her innocence post-haste. A small personal safe. This was Mr. Cochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Ah, of course it's locked. It would appear we won't be able to open it without the key. That's some fireplace. You know, it really gives the place of a mansion. It really gives this place a mansion-like quality, don't you think, sir? Well, if these are a staple in every Bobblee's house, then I bet Santa Claus pays them a visit too. Just how old are you again, detective? Sorry, but Interpol's still conducting its investigation beyond this point. I'm subordinate to Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Yes, I suppose we might as well. So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it. Mandy Cochin. Heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable. Cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his own video. What? He was lax in watching his back. Whoa, what the fuck happened there? What am I pulling words out from? The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his own. He was lax in watching his back. Where'd the word video come from? Brain, what are you doing? Stop zoning out. Seen people pay $100+ for the multi-line tickets. The purchase will go down, but then hardcores will still go for it. Yeah, got that TikTok mindset going on. My God, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here. You know what I fucking hate seeing? The TikTok subtitle culture bleeding into like every other YouTuber's like shorts and stuff like that, where they'll be like 10 things you didn't know about Dragon Ball Z, and then like half the words will be misspelled, and it's because they use like a text-to-speech thing to get those to to get those subtitles. So the words will just be misspelled. And then they'll also go out of their way, like even if the clip they're playing or talking over uses the phrase kill or die, the subtitles will always say like bleep or unalive. Like that's really a big deal anymore. Like Jesus Christ. When did we become such babies about this shit? Stop. Get some help. Nerning a nintent. What is that even supposed to mean? It's frustrating. It's just frustrating to see the internet act that way. It's TikTok subtitle culture. Well, you could rest easy. You can rest easy, knowing that my clips do not use any subtitles on TikTok or otherwise. Marketing firms that control these websites said, actually, we don't want our ads to be next to people who say kill. Yeah. There was a TikTok with phrasing that was baffling on purpose to make you rewatch the video. Yeah. No, that's another thing, too. That's playing the algorithm. You say some shit that people yell at you for, and the negative attention is just better. It sucks. Excuse me, I had to burp. Like, fuck it, stop aiming us in language. I get the stupid rules, but doing that stuff makes it really ridiculous to listen to and messes up a bunch of other stuff as well. Yeah, no. God help me or anyone on here, really. No, the internet's a cesspool. Did you see the Internet Archive got DDoSed yesterday? Fucking hell. Can't people just, like, stop and just be good? We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? Cause of death, single stab to the base of the neck. Body wasn't badly burnt in the fire. There appears to be something in his pocket. This key, it can't be! Isn't this the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's... 7 years ago? Oh! You mean the case where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Callisto U. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with his key, sir. I thought he was killed with a knife. Ah! Scruffy, at the very least, try to remember the details of the crimes you were a suspect in. Franziska, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among the law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. Oh, I feel like the victim right now, all trampled on, sir. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in on that. Fill you in now. The secret to this key is... button. Oh, it's amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Yes, it looks like the two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. Vines, sir. This looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. It's one of those six-sided stars, just like the police mark on our IDs. I really don't think you could call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is undeveloped... To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is why the Bobolese Embassy Secretariat... Why was the Bobolese Embassy Secretariat holding this? While we don't know how Mr. Cochin came to possess this key, we do know that this was all stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Cadopian embassy. That's right, Mr. Faraday had the fact written down in his organizer. I believe this means that the further research is required into the country of Cadopia. Why don't you ask Ambassador Poleno about what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Cadopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Copacabana Industry. Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been concluded. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. According to the result, the blade's shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound. I suppose this means we now know that the crime was committed with this knife. This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation on it. Ornamentation on it. Going on, sir? Huh, sir? 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 This thing practically screams artsy at me, too. Although it's also covered in blood, just like the last thing I said was artsy. But if the handle's pristine, there's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe there's a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. Manny Cochin. I've never seen him before. He was the suspect in the KG-8 incident. And I saw him talking with the elder sister of the... The elder sister of that victim of that case, Miss Callisto Yu. I wonder if there's a connection between his murder and the KG-8 incident. It's a knife wound. It's obvious what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the other wound. Or consistent with the wound... Wait, what? Obviously he's killed, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Okay. Indeed. Too much reading. I can't concentrate. Sir? While you were on guard duty, did you notice anything unusual? Well, I was on watch inside the embassy, but unfortunately I didn't run into the Yatagarasu, sir. But I did talk to an officer who was on duty near the border between the two embassies, who told me not a single person crossed the boundary during the incident. Let's see. Investigations into the fire and the Yatagarasu are a mess now thanks to both events. I'm so confused, sir. Should I be putting out the fire or investigating? What do you think, sir? Aren't you old enough to solve your own problems yet, detective? People are getting fucked up in that, What? I have no idea what I was gonna say there. Man, what? This is what happens when I'm drowsy. Like an update on how the investigation is going. Oh yeah, well, it's going, sir. In other words, no one has any idea of what happened here, correct? To put it simply, yeah, you got it, sir. But we do know that something happened in this room, sir. Any moron with a pair of eyes can see what happened, detective. Oh. Well, anyway, let's investigate every single nook and cranny in this room, sir. We have to get serious, or Kay will end up getting arrested as a killer. Yes, I'm already well aware of that. Oh. In order to find out what really happened here in this room, we will need to gather whatever information we can. It's time to take a good look. It's in a book, The Reading Rainbow. Sure you can keep going, big guy? Yeah, I have to force myself, because, again, what happened was, I was busy last weekend and my sleep schedule got messed up, and now I'm getting, like, just really drowsy between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m., when I usually don't go to sleep at any point during that. So hopefully I'll wake up a little more in just a bit. But yeah. Also, playing Ace Attorney games just kind of makes me more tired because it's just a lot of reading. Now it's getting dry. Looks like all there is left is a bunch of burnt stuff. Well, I guess we've got all the info we need now, huh, sir? Guess it would appear so. Case is tiring on its own, yeah. You know, after all said and done, I still have no idea what's going on. No, not a clue, sir. I just can't figure it out. Detective Gumshoe, it's nothing to get so worked up over. Oh, you mean I should just use that thing, right? Defunction? No, that's not it. Projection? No, that's not it either. I think it sounded like... I've got it. I've got it. Lock it. It's logic, detective. Logic. Now that I've collected some information, the next step, make sense of the few, connect a few of them together to see if I can make sense of this mess. Alright, entering the brain zone. Butterflies? Yeah. In other words, they're being mean to Gum. There's no way Gumshoe is this dumb. Then again, it's the Kangaroo Court franchise, so yeah, the characters get a little flanderized as time goes on. Less so in this than in the actual like sequel trilogy. The design of the tip's knife is kind of the design of the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special Babalese species butterfly. It does, doesn't it? Plus, it says right here, this knife is property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps this means the knife used in the crime was found right here in this room. Steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirtiest secret the Yatagaramatsu was out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, the person who I'm... In that case, that's just me not being able to read. How's the Kangaroo Court with no kangaroo? We'll have to engage in Kangaroo TF. If only Karma was here, he can make that happen. In that case, the person I'm looking for is here in the Babalese embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation. I think I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth. Phoenix as witness was dangerously stupid, yeah. Franziska, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you're here right now is related to that? Yes. After analyzing the intel we gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. This accounting document. It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure of all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Codopia, which means that somewhere in the countries of Alabast and Babal is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling operation. That's Franziska for you. She's amazing, pursuing this case with all she has. And finding out gripping things such as Milbiransnosordic. I don't know. Conked. A conted. Franziska, this is clearly generated by AI. Nah, it's weird. Like, it's weird because of the upscaling, which, I mean, the upscaling is probably AI, but, like, that's been a thing for ages. It's weird that the upscaling makes things more readable, but then, like, you get these fake language papers that's just like, oh, this is just a load of gibberish and bullshit letters. Is that an Enochian? Enochian. Counting doc related to smuggling. Proof someone in one of the countries is the ringleader. Discovered the trick 7 years ago, and with it we were able to corner Miss Yu. But who would have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time? Ambassador Poleno, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia. Cadopia? Alright, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? I found it sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy, is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key, it's also capable of changing into a knife. Oh, how fascinating! Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. Guess this knife might be from when we used to be part of Cadopia.
Hold it!
And how did you come to that conclusion? It has both Cadopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Mandy must have used this key here at the embassy, back when we were still Cadopia. Ambassador Poleno, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago. By Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu. You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into the embassy at this time? I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babal became its independent nation, but if Mandy were still alive, he would have probably known about what had happened to him. Mr. Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago, but that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu's key here in the present. We got check marks from all them. What do we do now?
Hold it!
Review some more logic? Oh, yeah. Here's the key. It's a symbol, the idea of an accounting department. Never actually meant to be read, yeah. I don't know, is this gonna fit? It does. We know for a fact the Yatagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found in the victim Mr. Cochin's pocket, which leads me to think that this perhaps is the key to the personal safe in this office. Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out. It appears I was correct. Key that was left to us in that victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the next. It literally turned out to be the key to the next. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What do we have here? Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatagarasu made off with everything, sir? No, Detective. I believe all we need is a closer look. A serious safe, but there's not a scrap of paper inside. Reminds me, the safe in your office is just as empty, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Really a coincidence that both safes are empty, Detective. Well, that makes a triple coincidence because my piggy bank at home is empty, too. I don't think there's anything coincidental about that, Detective. What is this here? Looks like a ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir. No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck inside the safe. Hey, you're right. It won't budge an inch. Not even when I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck inside the inside of a safe before.
Hold it!
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe. What do you mean? What I mean is the secret to the safe is that it has 2 compartments completely empty. It has a crack there. 2 compartments, obviously. Everywhere just look eyeballing it, you can only see... Even just eyeballing, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with an unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say there's an extra bit of space behind that back wall of the safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment. What? I suppose that you're correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening that door to it, As you can see, there's no other lock or keyhole in sight. Actually, there's one more spot of interest to me on the safe. Oh? Yes, I believe that spot is our keyhole for the second mystery lock. Safe in its locks. Alright then, since you're so sure of yourself, show me how you deduce the answer. Okay, nothing there. Deduce, What exactly am I deducing here? Still installing Vita Homebrew. Instead of installing RetroArch, just dumped 700 megabytes of data onto your 16 gig card when the Homebrew downloader said it'll only take a little over 200. Oof. That's a whole extra gig you're losing. 1 second. Wait. Hold on. No, I don't think that's the secret. Evidence is the key to this safe. I'm not entirely convinced it is, but I'm willing to entertain any explanation you might have. Don't worry, sir. I'm pretty sure you're right in what you said. Although I'm not quite sure how either that piece of evidence is related to the safe either. I have enough of friends. This is gonna doubt me, but Detective Gumshoe as well. No idea what they're looking for here. One more spot of interest to you on that safe. Okay. One left on the wall. Wait, what? Oh! You know, my dumbass thought it was just the click, like this spot where this over here clicked in. Hey, there's a hole here, sir. It's a little too oddly shaped for a latch hole. Wow, that's a funny shape for the latch hole, huh? Shaped kind of like a star, don't you think? Detective, I would hardly call that shape a star. Must be some reason for this hole. Well, there's gotta be some reason why this hole's shaped so weirdly, you know? Am I overthinking this? No, I don't think so. Maybe I'm overthinking things? No, there's no way I could ever do that. Detective Gumshoe, could you please be quiet for a second? You're frightening me. Okay, let's get the deucing. Yatalok, worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Strat.
Eureka!
Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisco? I don't know why I switched it over. It doesn't change the evidence. The shape, it does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch or hole for the safe lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Hold it!
Is that so? The person who used the safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure the safe had 2 other compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to the someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out? Can't be serious. You saying this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. And he will preserve your right. And I will prove to you right now. You preserve your right? What? The Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it.
Objection!
Yatagarasu's key? Come on, can we stop going in circles here? Miles Edgeworth, this is a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of the safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe. The keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. Now I gotta switch it over. Wait, what? Oh, it's the blade, okay. Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Cochin's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirm that fact by opening the door to a safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? What are you talking... Ah! It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head on, this knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous. Because it looks like a knife and was used in one of the... Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks. Whatever's hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Yeah, I'm getting there. That it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe. Yes, sir. Opening it now, sir. These items, they're a bunch of funny-shaped things. Whoa, stop. It's a bunch of funny-shaped things. Guess they're pieces of art, huh, sir? You're in the way. Now move, Scruffy. Didn't think I was in the way. These pieces of art, they're identical to the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was used to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. Stolen art. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world. Wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Eek! Scruffy, don't mess your hands. Don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Blah, 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 blah. Why, you even have any idea what would happen if one of them were to break? It's just me that she'd hit one of the pieces of art just now. No, don't deduce. Damn it. Sorry, I had the drink in my hand. This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. Wonder what it's about. Beats me, sir. Why don't we take a look at first before we give up, detective? Mr. Cochin's name is written here on the last page. Wonder what the significance of this document is. It's the other 2 pages of the document Franziska had. Many signatures at the side of the country. Signatures at the side of the country where Ball used to be. I mean, size? Was that what you meant to say? Also, a trick in the safe is really something. Yeah, it's near the safe has 2 compartments, but what's really impressive is at the other end of the key was another key we totally hadn't noticed. I wonder if Mr. Cochin was just paranoid, or if he had secrets of that great of value. Speaking of paranoid, I went sharpened both ends of my pencil. Then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid that I was going to stab myself. Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty. Yes, sir. I think that's everything here. Where is it? Since it was originally from the embassy, maybe she came back to return it? I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective. I'm okay. What do you think, sir? Callisto Yu. For what reason did she steal the key? Was meant to be size. Cool. Okay, we still need something.
Eureka!
Take a good look at these documents, Francisca. It says there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3? Well, it certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you've now found what you were looking for. Yes, and with this, it's become crystal clear that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Bobblely's ink. Bobblely's ink. Bobblely's ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported.
Hold it!
And that reason is... that's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems like the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was an embassy. His base was in an embassy. Thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. But it's so frustrating. Lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice. Well, even if he's dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested. Francisca, you must know that Manny Cochin was the suspect of the KG-8 incident. Of course I know. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring. There's the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. I hope I'm having a weird paging system where the numbers are at the top, but also a number of how many pages are on the document. Yeah. And it's funny, too, because it just looks like... like, I thought, when I was looking at the page before, I thought there was actually the 3 pages there, and that was just part of the UI. Because that's how the UI looks when you're looking at documents in this game. Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be. Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu, K. Faraday. You're under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I chased the fake Yatagarasu here, and he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it!
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes. What is that supposed to mean? I believe I told you that K. Faraday is not the culprit of this crime. Very well, I suppose, I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are. Why arrest K? Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Bobblely's embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, the girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. And most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body. The reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she is the Yatagarasu. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not. A Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu. Very well, then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Cochin. Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of this country are made of.
Hold it!
They may have confirmed it, but are you willing to tell me that no one could catch the thief? If so, you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us. Of course, I chased them right after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babali's embassy right away. And that's also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the end of my long chase, there was only this girl. Ugh. In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight.
Hold it!
Confusion caused by the fire. Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire? A suspicious person in a long coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire. Sounds like we have a phantom in our midst. Yeah. In a way, he could be considered a phantom with the way he randomly appears. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu.
Hold it!
You know, she's full of shit. Just because she calls herself that doesn't prove that she's a killer. No, but it does give her a motive. Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret." Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. McCochin for the key. I see. Her logic is very sound. I expected nothing less of Agent Lang's secretary.
Hold it!
She claimed that Kay knew that a foreign country's embassy had such documents. As it stated in the calling card, the Yatagarasu was out to steal a dirty secret, which means that the goal tonight was to steal those smuggling activity documents. I had it all wrong. It was the fake that sent that card. Your words are meaningless. If you truly are innocent, then let's see some proof. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I leave it to you to handle this. Yes, I'd rather not. I'd rather you did. Yatagarasu's gold, huh? You claim she's innocent, but you can't change the facts I've already outlined.
Hold it!
Really don't think that being the first to discover the body makes her the killer by default. No, but if you saw the self-purported Yatagarasu staying in front of a body, wouldn't you get more than a little suspicious yourself? Even so, I'd still listen to what I'd still listen to what that person had to say before I pass judgment. Huh. You talking about yourself in those times when you were under suspicion? The path of pain. I think the pain of being falsely accused of something. Is... Whoa! Cannot read. I think the pain of being falsely accused is something you should really experience. I personally know that feeling really well, sir. Given my situation, I know what it's exactly like, too. I'm fine with never experiencing it ever. Are you done with your little group conference? So Agent Sheena suspects Kay of murder simply because Kay is the Yatagarasu. But if I could prove that the Yatagarasu's goal is not related to murder, then I may be able to begin to reason with her. What can I prove? I don't know. Brain not running at 100% here. Are you sure you can keep going? Yeah, I'm fine. Or at least I want to finish Edgeworth, which, I mean, I'm only going to go for like another... not even a half hour. Not really. Because if I want to do... it's almost 1. So if I want to do Zelda for 2:30... Alright, yeah, about another half hour. I'm gonna do Edgeworth and then a switch. And I'll take a short break. Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, I'm trying to fight through being as drowsy as I am. I don't know why. I don't know why I've just been so like exhausted physically, but like I've missed streams 2 days this week because of it out of 4 that I was planning on going. So I don't know. This weekend when I spend time with Nessie, I'll probably try to get it back to going to bed late. Because the thing is, there's no benefit for me to go to bed early, outside of just getting more sleep. Anyway, furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. This is the right statement. She wanted to steal documents regarding smuggling, so she killed Mr. Coachum for the key.
Objection!
I guessed on that. That was a complete guess with no help whatsoever. Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there's a flaw in your logic. Oh? Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Yatagarasu, I'm certain that securing the smuggling document is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Cochran's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. Look at that sweat. Look at that thick, dripping sweat. By the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked, it's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all. Then perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Cochran had the key on him.
Objection!
If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I could think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known this fact. Need, reason, all of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe second compartment before returning the key. But the fact still remains that Mr. Cochran was stabbed to death.
Objection!
But you have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act. How do you accidentally kill someone? I mean, you can. It's manslaughter. They literally have a whole segment for accidental death. Man's laughter. Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes. A nice stab to the neck, at least. Well, fair enough. What? Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her behind bars. Definitive evidence. Knife wound in the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon, which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. That knife is as part of a special 3-piece set, which has a design like no other. The evidence and testimony, it all points to the girl. There is no counter-argument. That's your definitive evidence? You see now that she's definitely the killer, right? No, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta believe me! I saw a suspicious person in a long black coat outside the embassy. I swear! And you came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person? That's right. Ran to this office only because I was chasing after that person. When I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Who's there? This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl scream. Knives on the walls are missing the handles. Yeah, no, that's already been addressed. They could switch out. And when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her. So the object Kate felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon. I had the knife analyzed right away, but we have failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the suspicious person in the black coat who came into this room before me... You continue to insist there was such a person. But if there was, where did they go? That, I don't know. But I know they came in here. That sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer. Not like a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? We can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth. She has a point. Even if Kay's words are the truth. Must show that they are with some solid evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't. Okay, don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must be some way. There must exist a way for me to prove that. Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument, if you can. Don't worry, I can and will.
Hold it!
Fuck it. This means that you already have the results back. We've confirmed that the shape of the Ablaze knife's blade matches the wound. Please don't confuse the efficiency of Interpol's forensics teams with your own.
Objection!
I wonder if you don't underestimate our police force. And so we're clear, I'd hardly say your logic is sound, which you will see in a bit. You prove me wrong, please, by all means, go ahead. This has been my intention all along. So let's return to your testimony.
Hold it!
You mean to say that you saw Kay holding the murder weapon with your own eyes? I was also on the search for the Yatagarasu. When I heard that girl's scream coming from this room, I rushed over straight away. When I arrived, I saw that girl standing there, motionless, with the knife in her hands. But I already told you, I only came in here because I was also after the Yatagarasu. The suspicious person I saw came into this room. But when I entered, it was pitch dark. I felt something by my foot on the floor, so I turned on the lights, and then... You found out what was in... It was the murder weapon at your feet. How many times do I have to tell you? We can't trust the words of a sus.
Among Us!
You know, just for good measure, gonna throw in a... as a bonus. We can't trust the words of a suspect. The only thing you'll accept is evidence, is it? That's the only acceptable way to counter an agent of Interpol on the scene of a crime. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have some kind of evidence that can prove my innocence? I think I do, because there's one piece of evidence I find to be a bit interesting. I think I need to carefully examine that piece of evidence again.
Hold it!
I ask that you please refrain from speculation. It's a sound hypothesis derived from the evidence. There's no room for debate. Ugh. Miles Edgeworth, know that an ungrateful loss will not be tolerated, my subordinate. Now, rebut her hypothesis with factual logic. Otherwise, what was your investigation for? Yes, you are correct. Thank you. Helping a subordinate out with advice is the job of any good superior. Seems to be rather enjoying herself, but she is correct nonetheless. Agent Sheena, please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
About the three-piece set, is there really no other like it? Let's ask Ambassador Poleno for more details, shall we? And the knives are indeed special. They have the butterfly, the symbol of the Republic of Babal engraved on them. And because there are only 3 of them in the world, they're very, very valuable. The national symbol, huh? Well, the knives are covered in the butterfly design. Along with the Alabastion set, our respective country only have 3 knives each. I see. Okay. Good news, Michael. Hey, Karma, what's up? A lot of ports of Android games to Vita, and I hope someone eventually tries to port the Ace Attorney Android ports to there. Still wanted me that at least a trilogy didn't get an official release on there. Isn't the LCD, it's just the lights. What did I tell you, Karma? One look at that laptop screen, and I was like, that doesn't look like it's broken. That looks like the backlight's just not working. Called it. I'm the big brain. I'm the big brain, and I called it. Oh, so speaking of the Ace Attorney ports, I may have splurged and bought imported the 1-3 trilogy physically from Japan. I hate that it's the only one that didn't get a physical release in English, but I have every other collection of Ace Attorney, so I'm like, well, I might as well get the Japanese 1-3 copy. It comes with it comes with the, like, it has the Switch version, yeah. It comes, yeah. It has the, like, if you put the cartridge in the Switch, it does bring up the English version on an English, like, Nintendo account. So it is in there. It is localized, technically. It's just annoying that the case itself, that the game itself and the case is Japanese only. But yeah, now I'll have the entire Ace Attorney series physically on Switch, which is really cool.
Hold it!
Backlight is not backlighting. I mean, yes, that's what I figured. That's what I suggested earlier. Kinda want to get all the DS versions, including the physical Japanese trilogy release on the 3DS. I've seen that one. That one looks nice. Does Apollo Justice have a physical release on 3DS? Or is that just DS and modern consoles? Pair's gonna cost 2,500 Filipino pesos though, so cries. Oh. Look up if I got one in Japan. If it got one in Japan, I don't think it did. I think Apollo Justice had a digital version on the 3DS. No, I believe there's still room for debate, and I'll thank you not to decide that for me. I didn't decide anything for you. I'm merely looking at the reality the way it... is.
Objection!
Are you sure you're not just viewing the facts through rose-colored glasses? I have rose-colored glasses. RCGs. Mr. Edgeworth, I think she's mad at you. Perhaps, but our definitions of reality are a tad different. Are the two of you done chatting? Agent Sheena's proof is the Bob-Elise knife that Kay was allegedly holding. Yeah, so, how are we going to prove that Kay didn't do it, sir? Agent Sheena wants us to suspect Kay merely because Kay was the only one here. And they must show with evidence that Kay couldn't have committed the murder. Oh, but you have such evidence, sir? Yes, there is one piece of evidence that seems very unnatural to me. And I believe it is my duty to point that out to Agent Sheena. Knife with a butterfly handle. Is that a butterfly handle? Yeah, it is. So this is what took Mr. Cochin's life. Some of his blood is still on the blade. Wow, I've been a detective for 7 years already? Seen a lot of weapons in my days. But knives that were used to kill were always the hardest for me to bear. Yes, unlike guns, this is one weapon where you're likely to find the victim's blood on it. Yeah, just like how this one's practically drenched in it, huh, sir? Despite that, it still looks like the blood managed to miss that handle somehow. A lot of skilled detailing on this handle. It appears that this handle on the knife is removable. Guess so people could change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir. Don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, detective. Where's the mechanism to remove it? It did in fact get a Japanese physical release bundled with the soundtrack. Oh wow. I love when they do thick 3DS boxes like that. Thick. That's cool. Reminds me of the Solata Robo physical edition. You know, people complain about Sega constantly re-releasing the old Sonic games. Meanwhile, the Ace Attorney games have been re-released on every single system that's come out since the DS. Wii, modern consoles with a trilogy, 3DS. Really good box art for it too, yeah. They kind of stopped doing the old style box art for the Ace Attorney games. When did they stop doing that? They stopped doing it when they got to the 3DS era. Because all three of the DS games and GBA games used the 4 character shots. Apollo Justice used it, and then both of the Edgeworth games used it initially. And then I think when Spirit of Justice came out, that's when they abandoned it and started going with the like the full art. Unless the Japanese one still does that. Oh no, Japanese ones still use it. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, that's fake. Oh, no, okay, Japanese physical release did use it. It still had that style in Japan. Oh, okay. Wait, even Spirit of Justice? Well, that's also why, because Dual Destiny started the whole trend of not getting physical releases here. Oh, yeah, Spirit of Justice did that too. Okay, interesting. So now that makes me wonder, though. Like, with all these nice ornate box arts now, when Ace Attorney 7 happens, are we going to go back to the 4 character portraits, or are we going to actually get, like, proper box art? Very curious. I also wonder if 7's going to end up happening on the Switch, or if we're going to wait till Switch 2 now, because it feels like they're building up to it happening, but, like, the new system's getting announced soon. Apollo Justice, just these nuts on your face. Okay, Karma. I'm going to ban you for, like 5 hours, and then reduce that sentence by, like, 4. Maybe. Like how the actual box art for AA Far inside that box is like the same as the DX boss. Oh, yeah, it is. It's the red. That's a good. I like that shade of red. It's good. I have every Ace Attorney game that was released physically here, except Layton vs. Ace Attorney. That I have digitally on 3DS. But I guess it's not really an Ace Attorney game. That's more a Layton game. I don't know. The split's kind of weird in that. I would say it's equal parts Ace Attorney as it is Layton, but there's definitely, like, you spend a lot more time doing the puzzles just because they take longer. Okay, you could tell I'm kind of waking up now a bit more. Kind of scared to look up the price of PL versus AA, because I feel like that would be one that's up there in price. Maybe. I don't know. Oof. I don't see any copies for sale. The cheapest one I could see is Mercari for $100, $110. That might even be the English version. No, it is. That's the American version. Okay. Yeah, you gotta pay double for that. Remember when video games used to be 40 to 50 bucks? And now we just agree that they're all 60 for some reason. It's good shit. Which is funny because that's not even true. A lot of Switch games get released at reduced prices. This one was only 40, I think. Or 49. I have no fucking clue what I'm supposed to be doing here. Knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon, which the killer was holding.
Objection!
Okay. I got lucky 2 times in a row. So the murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it. I was surprised by how cheap I got the The 1 to 3 collection. Someone on Amazon was selling it for like $30. So I was like, sure, get it. Not luck, it's instinct. I mean, I'm also still kind of like a quarter sleep here, so maybe I'm just sleep playing. Yeah, I bought, I mentioned this, I bought the 1 to 3 collection. I'm going to get that next week physically. I bought that, and I also bundled in the DVD of Over the Garden Wall, because apparently that's leaving digital services, and that miniseries is excellent, and I'm down for a rewatch of it at some point. I also realized I have no way of watching DVDs right now. I need like a separate, like USB CD-ROM drive to get stuff on the computer to watch it, because I only have USB ports on the computer. The age of DVDs is long behind me. I also bought some, I bought some more vegan snacks that I might try and stream. Edamame beans. Seasoned edamame beans. So the murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it, but is that really the truth? What are you getting at? I'd like for you to take a look at this. Get a load of this. There's blood on the blade, and yet there's not a speck of blood on the handle. This signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched, and was in fact not the real murder weapon. It wasn't the real murder weapon. This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go? As you can see, the Babalese knife has now been disassembled into 2 parts. Oh, and how about that? It's got the Alabastrian symbol on it. The killer must have pulled the murder weapon out of the victim's body, and proceeded to swap the knife's original handle with this butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with a butterfly-themed knife. My hair, like, flipped up. Bought a DVD today, and I have to set up my PS5 again since I've actually used it in forever. Instinct. Michael's a vegan snack. It's the Alabama symbol. God damn it. I made chips at home today, not half bad. Oh, cool. Like, chips or like fish and chips? Like fries. They should clear up any and all suspicions surrounding Kay. Shop with the real murder weapon's handle. Its blade is yet to be found. Babalese knife handle. Babaloo. Your argument isn't airtight yet. How so? It's possible the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Hold it!
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would she do such a thing? I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond comprehension of a normal person like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
Objection!
The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer. What is this mark on here? It's the mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means? No, not really. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar. And so they do. However, would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance. Now to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this.
Take that!
You can't be serious! American chips, crisps in Britain. Had a mandolin slicer forever. I think I'm the first person in the house to use it. That's cool. DVD you got was the original Beetlejuice for only $5. I'm surprised it wasn't made to be more expensive than that because of the sequel. Well, I mean, people are just selling their used stock. Probably not a rare DVD either. I have a DVD. My first DVD I ever had, which I still have never actually watched because I watched the VHS before I got the DVD of it, is the newer Little Shop of Horrors, the one with Rick Moranis in it, who is now a country music star, apparently. It appears you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right, the Kingdom of Alabast. Alabastes nuts. In other words, this blade is from one of Alabast's ornamental knives. Huh? This part of the knife handle has Babal's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it's undeniably Babalese in origin. But as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Unless you shove it down their throat, you might be able to choke on it. Incidentally, when exactly did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena? After the fire had broken out. That's right, Kay entered the Ablaze embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Alabastion side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastion object over here. I am talking way too much per breath. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastion object over here. That makes it impossible for her to be the true killer. Maybe bashed her head in with the handle and you might end him. Yeah. Ooh, way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What a great victory. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? I'm happy we got this far and cleared Kay's name. But what worries me now is what will happen next.
Objection!
No one heard that, right? Okay. That was a loud burp. I was like, did I mute myself in time for that one? Younger, so your first DVD was probably Care Bears or something. I still have like all the DVDs I've ever owned, which isn't a lot. It's like Little Shop of Horrors. Actually, no, that wasn't my first DVD. My first DVD was I think season 1 of Chappelle's Show, back when he wasn't a piece of shit. I have every season of Seinfeld on DVD. That's kind of like my big collection. Because it would always come out around Christmas, so my cousin would always buy me the newest season when it came out. And that's how I ended up watching the whole series at one point. Not that some of the people on Seinfeld are any less problematic than Dave Chappelle, so say what you will. Alabasta, isn't that a One Piece place? Yes, I think it is. It is. You wanted to hear that burp? Karma, that's going to get you banned for like 5 years. With maybe like a 1-year reduction in that sentence. Had the entire series of Sonic Sat AM and watched it all the way through. You know, I should do that because I've never seen the whole show, and that was like my favorite Sonic show as a kid. I've only seen like 12 episodes of it, and I think there's like 26. More than that. My parents' attic still lies in the binder. Still lies. Hope my parents' attic still has the binder of bootleg DVDs we got when we lived in Singapore. That'd be fun to look at. Alabastion. You keep hearing Hollow Bastion. Okay, wait. I'm actually playing the game now, right? What is the meaning of this? An Alabastion knife here? Do you mean, how did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? Didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over. You know what? My brain hurts just thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run? Now that's the way a great thief operates. Okay. Oh, thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth, for proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did. Not really, but... Come on. You don't have to be shy about it. Your argument is still not airtight. Would you care to elaborate? I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there's still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu. That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay? Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it really doesn't matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire. It hadn't been burning since the world was turning. Preposterous. On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing? The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu. That in itself is the most elegant proof. Miss Sheena. Yes? I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow some imposter to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards, I will walk it the best I can. It's not good to be so stubborn. Hope you can understand that. Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay? What? Well, I guess we better get going. Going? To where? To to the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right? I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Alabastian knife came from, we'll have to pay the Alabastian embassy a visit. She just whipped Cochin's body there. She just said she was uncomfortable whipping a dead guy, yet her whip touched Cochin. Let's go, Miles Edgeworth. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt. Understood. To be continued. This is actually the perfect place for it to be continued. I'm airtight. No, I think I'm deflating. Or something to that effect. We're gonna call it here and switch. March 14th, 7:44 p.m. The Atrium Neutralis lobby. K, Sheena's glasses suck major ass and general balls. K spinning on Sheena's face on the way out. That's a great shot. That's a good title shot right there. Alright, thank you for sticking with me to another half-asleep Ace Attorney Investigations part. Again, it's not because I'm not having fun with the game, it's just because my sleep schedule is fucked. I'm feeling more awake now. Give me, like, 10 minutes to take a break here. And I'll be back with, like 2.5 hours of Zelda. And then next week we'll try to hit both of these really hard. Again, as I mentioned, Ace Attorney Investigations 2 and Visions of Mana have both been put on hiatus. I am planning to get back to them in December, when I get back from MFF, and clear out any other games that I'm currently playing. You could consider Visions of Mana to be like a Season 2, because I stopped in the middle of the game. Like the perfect spot. Anyway, I'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll do Zelda, and yeah, stick around.